Okay, yes, people of Edo State and Nigeria, greetings to you all. I salute every one of us in the name of our collective struggles. And it's been a while, it's been some time, and I thought I'd just come out this time to speak to the issues, under this topic, Governor Obaseki, Edo 2024, and of course my humble take. This is actually on the heels of the fact that a lot of people have called me, friends of the Comrade Show, people who follow us, to ask me, they've not seen me. It's been a while, and I've not issued a statement. Nobody knows exactly where I stand, particularly talking of Edo 2024 and of course the candidates on the ground. And I thought I make this statement. I am, for those who know me, I'm a very meticulous person, and I'm not swayed by a lot of words, sway other people. I'm swayed by my very strong conviction, and when it comes to the issue of Edo State and Nigeria, always in the best interest of Nigeria and all of that. So looking at Edo 2024, I tell you, Edo 2024 matters, and decision by the electorate, on whom to support is something that we've got to be very careful about. Unfortunately, we have a lot of people who just roll with the bandwagon. Fortunately, some of us are not like that. I have personally, by the grace of God, in company of my team and of course some other persons across the diaspora, we have met privately with the three major candidates. And we know that a lot of things need to be put into huge consideration before, we come out and make a statement. And when we start, we are going to start fully, because everything that we must do, which we have agreed on, must be in the best interest of Edo State and all of that. My survival and the survival of very many Edo State people in the diaspora is not dependent on the government of Edo State. And so therefore, we are going to be very dispassionate when we issue our statement. My own statement is going to come out very shortly, because we are getting to the end point. Now, the reason why I said this process has been very tasking, has been very difficult, with all due respect, I think Obaseki, the governor of Edo State, whom we all supported in 2020, has sort of compounded the issues of Edo 2024. You understand? And it is so sad that the kind of support the governor had in 2020, the governor could not sustain that support because of how he reasonably, betrayed the trust that the Edo State people who supported him, had for him, invested in him, and all of that. I said this, without missing words, because I was very close to the process. I was one of those who, committed so much to supporting the governor of Edo State. And the reason wasn't because of anything. It wasn't because of any personal expectation. It was because, I believe strongly in the social contract. I thought that, overtly or covertly, we had entered with the governor of Edo State. And that social contract has to do with the promises he made to the people of Edo State. And there were numerous promises. You understand the picture of what I'm saying? Now, today, I cannot say I see any of these things that he promised he was going to deliver on the ground. You understand what I'm saying? And Edo State people are not better off than he made them. More than that, okay, there are certain policies that Governor Obaseki, embarked on that, for me, have not been people-oriented. And that is why, just 2 years into his second term administration, I started criticizing the governor of Edo State, even though I had supported him. The reason was because I had thought that, criticism would make them, probably turn around and begin to look at some of those things. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? And, it's just so, Obaseki's administration just so much became a government of optics, a government of, 2 blocks of flats amplified to represent everything. At the end of the day, the fact of the ground doesn't speak to the government actually working in the interest of Edo State people. Everything I have been seeing this. I've been to the interest of the governor of Edo State and all of that. And, you know, this is not to remove this, because I must be very frank with everybody. This is not to remove his effort at the level of with the civil service reform. I really applaud him for that. He's done some very good job with the civil service reform, and I give him you know, a very good grade for that. But every other thing, you know, that should impact the people positively, really, you know, I don't see them in place. You understand? Now, a lot of people may not agree with this. You understand? I am making this statement very boldly because I have been on ground myself. I have investigated well enough and all of that. Then, you know, the economic state of Edo State today, compared to 4 years ago, is even worse off. Now, I say this because I'm privileged. I'm privy to some information about the resources that have come into Edo State under Governor Obaseki. You understand? And to now understand that we are nearly 400 billion in debt as against about 80 billion when it came on board. And I look around and I ask myself, what have we done with this debt? How much of this debt has actually impacted the people positively? Okay, it's an issue. Now, all of these issues, okay, that I talk about right now, and many more may not be able to, you know, talk about right now, they all make it difficult for some of us to just boldly decide that this is who we are supporting. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now and all of that. Then there are some gimmicks under the administration that for me, they are not just warranted. My own thinking 4 years ago, when I was, you know, enthused, working very hard, like so many thousands of Edo State people, to install Governor Obaseki in a second term, was that by this time, Edo State will be the envy of Nigeria. That by this time, Edo State will be a state that everybody, you know, it will be a reference state based on what is on ground in Edo State. You understand? Particularly given the resources the administration, you know, is exposed to. You understand? For the first time under his administration, which he did very, very well, the internally generated revenue increased tremendously to an average of 4.5 to 5 billion on a monthly basis as an extra. You understand? So when we talk of the resources that the Edo State has got under Governor Obaseki and given what is on ground, it makes it really, really difficult, because right now the issue really is the issue of trust deficit. You understand what I'm saying? That beyond all of these, Obaseki woefully failed when it comes to interpersonal relationship, relational currency. Everybody who work with Obaseki, apart from those directly feeding under him right now, you understand what I'm saying now? Everybody has something not very nice to say because of the way he has used people. People, those in politics, dumped them. You understand what I'm saying now? Disregarded them. So all of these things make it very, very difficult for people to now, you know, discuss. Unfortunately, people are trooping left, right, side, corner at the end of the day to say, oh, I'm supporting this, I'm supporting that, I'm supporting that, which is fine. You understand? But at the end of the day, you know, when the chips are down, we'll get to know. I don't know how many of you are aware. Today, you know, even as we speak, many of you may not be aware, but I have been very much inundated by the fact that certain elements in human form in Edo State, okay, have taken the Oba of Benin, the palace of the Oba of Benin, to court on many fronts, at the Federal High Court, at the Benin High Court. Even today, the Oba is appearing in court. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? Now, these human elements, okay, people are arguing that these are people supported by the government of Edo State. They are carrying out the dictates of the government of Edo State. Now, I cannot independently verify any of these, but the truth of the matter is, according to, what's it called, Abraham Lincoln, I think it was Abraham Lincoln, who said that in the last days, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. You understand what I'm saying? And that speaks volumes. And the reason why I say that speaks huge volume is because I would expect that as grand an institution as our palace is, with all of these shenanigans taking place, a government who truly respect the people and who know the value of what the palace is to the Edo State people would issue a statement to say, no, this is not right. Or we even try to intervene to ensure that aspersions are not cast at the palace of the Oba Benin. When people cast aspersions at the palace of the Oba Benin, by extension, they are casting aspersions on the entire Benin kingdom. Some developments have been taking place in recent time. You understand what I'm saying now? That, you know, I am just puzzled. But part of the reasons why I have refused, you know, to come up on social media to make any statement, because, you know, I'm just trying to investigate some of these things more. You understand? But my concern here is that with all of these things happening, okay, you know, people in the name of chiefs or enigies dragging the palace to court for this or for that. You understand what I'm saying? Hiding under some rules or laws promulgated by government to do what they are doing, which they didn't do before Obaseki came on board, and there is no statement of rebuke by the government of Edo State. There is no statement, okay, of say, okay, man, we've got to resolve this to keep the respect our palace has. Honestly, it speaks volumes. And that's why I said, in the last days, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. All of these really compound the issues to make people decide where to stand in this election. Now, the third aspect I want to speak to, personally, I'm not pleased at all. Okay, and that's why I said the relational currency of Obaseki is a huge problem. You understand? In this particular election. Now, the other aspect I want to talk about, which is very important, the reason why I have not come out, you know, because by the time I endorse somebody, okay, I am going to be out, rain, sun, shine, anytime, canvassing for that. But I have to be under my conviction. And that is why silently we've quietly had meetings with these people. You understand the picture of what I'm saying? As time goes on, I'm going to be speaking to these meetings and why I'm having to endorse whoever I'm endorsing. Now, some people don't get me wrong, I have been inundated with calls. People calling me support A, support B, support C. There's this argument that, oh, A is going to win because of federal mind. Oh, B is going to win because of, what's his name, power of incumbency. C is going to win because, you know, it's from Edo South. All of these arguments. Let me tell you the truth. I think that the same argument have been advanced to make people right now, you know, at this very premature state, you know, run after, you know, X, Y, Z. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? Let me tell you the truth. And this is what I've said. Nobody knows who's going to win this election because there are so many twists here and there. Nobody knows, which is why. That is one. The second aspect is that I will not support any candidate based on the fact that this candidate is in the permutations that this candidate is going to win. And so therefore, I will mortgage everything because some people have said this candidate is going to win. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? I'm not going to, I won't be swayed by that. And I hope that people can reasonably, you know, ditch that because nobody knows who's going to win this election at the end of the day. You understand? And I'll be one of those who is going to focus seriously on a Edo State electorate to say, look, work hard, fight hard to ensure that your vote counts. Work hard, fight hard to ensure that it is your vote that will determine who the next governor of Edo State will be. Not because one person is from Edo South, or one person has federal minds, or one person has power of incumbency. No. But because the people are convinced that with this person, their collective patrimony will be used for their own interests. This is very key. Now, and that brings me to the point where my decision is going to only based on one, the part of my conviction, my integrity, okay, which I cannot joke with, which means that I rather win with the candidate I'm supporting or I lose with the candidate I'm supporting. You understand? Because at the end of the day, like I said, I established earlier, my economy, okay, my personal survival, okay, is not hinged on anybody in government. When I supported Governor Obaseki nearly 4 years ago or thereabouts, I did with my time, I did with my money, in fact, I put my family on the line to support the governor of Edo State. I don't owe the governor a penny. I don't owe him pure water. Do you understand the picture of what I'm saying now? I did everything I did, in my capacity then, because I was convinced that amongst the lot presented by the political structures, this is the one we could believe. Unfortunately, this has not gone the way we expected. And that was why, I make it very clear too. My support for any candidate is not a blanket check. If I believe that we have a social contract for you, like the governor said in his case, he will provide 192, health centers for Edo State, for all the wards in Edo State. He will put international airport in Edo North. Giligili will be, up and running by the end of his administration. And so many other promises made. He will give us those in the diaspora a diaspora agency. You understand what I'm saying now? I can count on and on and on and on and on. None of these promises have been fulfilled. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? At the time he was making those promises, for me, we had a social contract with the governor of Edo State. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? Not a social contract that was going to go into my pocket, but a contract between him and the Edo State people. Unfortunately, the government of Obaseki, have been more characterized by, there's so much divisiveness in the government, which now borders even much more on its, interpersonal relationship, its relational currency, and all of that, which for many of us that makes it difficult. The reason why I say it makes it difficult is because if the governor had, adhered to the promises he made to the people of Edo State, I believe you me, based on what he promised, Edo State today would have been an inevitable reference point as far as Nigeria is concerned, if not Africa. Edo State would have evolved our own economy in the way that even the opposition parties, would be proud to work with the governor of Edo State and with his government. You understand? The decision would have been so easy. But unfortunately, the Edo State diaspora community is going to be divided. There's no doubt about it, because at the end of the day, people are going to support different candidates based on, on different factors. You understand? So, for my support base, for my friends, for people who have said, "Oh, comrade, we have not heard from you. Where do you stand?" Blah 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 blah. Just give me a few days more, maybe at most a couple of weeks. You understand? I'm going to announce, the candidate I'm going to be supporting. You understand? Highly on integrity, looking at the Edo State interest first and foremost, and of course, trust is going to be a major factor still, even in this matter. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? For Obaseki as a person, for me, he goofed. He had the opportunity, but he goofed. He blew it. You understand what I'm saying now? It's a sad story, and it's a really sad story. It makes it really, really, really difficult. And I told one of the candidates, if you not share the, I don't want to share this broker. If you not share the brokers, you go remember. Say I tell him, say, man, the issue that a lot of people are going to have with you is trust issues. Obaseki said more than the things you are saying right now. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? But at the end of the day, Obaseki has only played the game at his own interests. And that's why I said earlier, he has run a government of optics with those state people. Obaseki has, because he's a very intelligent man. He's coming from a banking sector where Ogboju, you know what I'm saying now, is a way that they use to enrich themselves and all of that. And he has used all of those tactics for those state people. Right now, the news is that, he has increased minimum wage to 70,000. Apparently because election is coming. I mean, none of these things is genuine. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? Election is coming, so therefore, people will be hoodwinked by this. As we speak right now, people have even called me to say, man, like they called me 4 years ago, and I said I wasn't interested. Nominate some people to become SC and SSCs to the government of Edo State. And I know what all that is. Before 2020 elections, more than 1,000 persons were given SEs and SSEs for 40 to 90,000, as the case may be, as salary. All of that were your political moves to win election. Okay, 7,000, they are all political moves to win an election. Because if there was genuineness in this policy, why was this policy not in place by January of last year? You understand? By the January of last 2 years, as the cases and all of that. So we people cannot be responding to some of those kinds of things. The real thing, you understand what I'm saying, about this Edo state, you know, for me, would have been, you know, sticking to the promises made to the people. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? Ekewan Road has been under construction forever. You know, every now and again, oh, some little effort is made. You understand? And those little effort, the optics around it is so huge, and every other thing. Some block of flats are built, some buildings are put in place, and all of that. And you know, the stories around them, they are so huge. But at the end of it, when you get to the ground in Edo State, the rural areas of Edo State are still not accessible. There are signboards of place to say, bear with us, this is a federal road. You understand the picture from I'm saying now? Roads in Edo State are still having issues. Even though I don't judge government by roads anyways, you understand what I'm saying now, and all of that. So, you know, in a nutshell, you know, I really have issues with the way Obaseki has run Edo State. But in fairness to him, I am pleased with the effort, his contribution towards our civil service, the reform he has put in place for the civil service, the refurbishment of our, you know, secretariat is very pleasant. You know, I'm pleased with that. Even that was done in first term. So when we look at the whole of the second term, really, it is difficult to say, man, this is what our governor has done. You understand what I'm saying now? Some people will point out, oh yeah, there are some roads being tapped. Some of those roads were tapped 3, 4 years ago, 2 years ago. You go through them now, they are back in bad shape. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now, and all of that. Now, I see what I say against the backdrop of the information I have about how much has entered Edo State under Governor Obaseki in the last 4 years, compared to what people can point at to say this is what government has done, this is what the government has done. So, and which is why, for me, it is incumbent. One of the points is incumbent on whoever is going to be the next governor, no matter how close the person is to the governor, you know, or how far the person is, there is the need for whoever is coming to open the books. Let us know how each dime accrued to Edo State was spent. Particularly on the heels of the fact that we are not getting accusations from other political parties against the governor of Edo State, okay, about the governor in the last, you know, couple of years spending nearly 2 billion naira on just travels alone. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? Some of these things are the things that we thought would not be existent when this governor will be elected in 2020. But today they are here with us. We are grappling with them. Consultancy, you know, has eaten more money from Edo State coffers than the main contracts offered themselves. And who are these consultants? You understand the picture of where, as the day go by the time we launch properly, by the time I've settled down to make this woman endorsing, whether it is the governor's candidate or it's any other candidate or this or that, it is important that we open all of the wounds that Obaseki's government has inflicted on Edo State people, so that whoever is coming will understand that, man, this is a serious business. I feel personally betrayed, because based on what the governor told us publicly and privately, many of us were out there taking his word. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? To campaign to others who believe in us, to say he's going to do this. When he does this and does that, he does this, it will be generally beneficial to Edo State people. And so when those things were not done or are not done, it hampered our own integrity, because we put everything on the line for the governor of Edo State, Governor Obaseki, in 2020. And today, it's very unfortunate. You understand what I'm saying now? It's very, very unfortunate. If you are watching me from the diaspora and you have seen some optics on Facebook and all of that, and you believe this and believe that, man, take your time and go home. Go home, go round. Then come back and, you know, speak to what your experience is, or what your experiences are. You get the picture of what I'm saying now, and all of that. I am not pleased. I've maintained this. You understand what I'm saying now? And the moment when I support you, you understand? You just like, you know, for people who know me, I was very vocal when it was time for Obi Obi's presidency and every other day. But a few weeks ago, I came out to say, man, I am not pleased with Obi and the way Labour Party is running. You know what I'm saying? I said, if you want to be president to govern Nigeria and people were supporting you and every other thing, you should have the pedigree to govern your own political party, to to advise your political party, to be at peace with themselves. And I made that out there. Not because for me, the best is what we want. And if we believe that you are the best to give us what will be good for the state and for the nation and every other thing, you must be seen to be living and walking that walk. You understand? But in the case of Obaseki, we have one or two things to say, man, yes, he did well here, he did well there. You understand? Which are pleasant things. You understand what I'm saying? But for every other thing, honestly, it's not to write to me about. You understand? So this is why I want to appeal to my friends, to those who are like, okay, Lamptey, we want to hear from you and every other thing. You will hear from me. And when you start hearing from me, you will start hearing from me consistently. You understand? And probably want to equally advise that people should, watch out for the interest of Edo State more. Because right now, a lot of people you see are just interested in what goes into their stomach. You understand what I'm saying now? For some, we may understand because maybe, they probably, are struggling. You understand what I'm saying? But even at that, that is not an excuse. Okay? But for those in diaspora, I'm even more dazed. When some person in diaspora call me up to tell me that, oh, they are supporting Mr. X because of this and this and this. Ultimately, it will benefit them more. Ultimately, it will benefit them more. Ultimately, it will benefit them more. My support is not going to be based on what's going to benefit me as an individual. It's going to be what I believe will benefit Edo State people. You understand what I'm saying now? And on the factors of, oh, this one will win because of federal might, the other one will win because of it's an Edo State from Edo South, or the other one will because of power of incumbency. Nobody knows who's going to win. And that is why I probably would advocate that whoever the people decide to win, the people must do their work in their conviction to make the person win. You understand? This election must not be determined by the power of incumbency, nor the power of federal might, nor because a candidate is from Edo South. No, it should be because of all other factors, totally in the best interest of Edo State. So, my people, I don't think I just want to talk for now, just to allay everybody say, man, look, we did this game. We'll not go wrong. You understand me now? We'll not go wrong. But as a last reminder, the Oba Benin is still in court. Okay? It's an aberration, it's an abomination. The palace of the Oba Benin defines the true essence of the Edo State man. If you erase that history, okay, we are lost as a people. The entire essence of who we are derives from that palace. And if government cannot put herself on the line to defend the palace, then the Benin man says, when lie resembles truth, you are bound to believe. In the last days, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. The Oba of Benin is being dragged by people who are supposed to be the subordinates of the palace. And yet, the governor and the government is quiet. I go rest for now. There'll be time to say a lot more. God bless you guys. Please, want to share the broadcast. If you not follow TCS blog, follow. I just made this one on TCS blog. Transfer and go the Comrade Show, page. But I want to build this page. We go use our word for this process. I want to help us follow this page, support this page, and let's keep pushing. You understand? At the end of the day, Edo State people will determine who the governor of Edo State is going to be. I said, I drop this one mainly Kali. My name is Comrade Lamptey Momusa Oriahi. Never change. Anytime you change, I will let you know. Bye for now.